Hello everyone, my name is Drew Dosek and welcome to Trading the Close. Today we saw a lot of whipsaw action. We gapped down on the markets and then we rallied up 7 candles in a row and then curled over, and selling pressure persisted for the afternoon. There was a little bit of bounces, but mainly we had all around about a flat day. I was doing more research last night. Jerome Powell did mention that word that was an elusive word that was around several years ago, transitory. Transitory potentially is going to be coming back regarding inflation, and that's due to the tariffs that are yet to really take effect here in the United States. With all that being said, let's jump into the heat map. All right, so right now you see the Dow Jones basically flat, down 0.04%, NASDAQ's down 0.37%, S&P 500 down 0.2%, U.S. oils had a great day, up 1.78%, gold is down 0.07%, essentially flat, but Bitcoin has given up most all of its gains today that it did capture yesterday. And if you look over on the right-hand side of the screen, you see the heat map is basically green throughout most of the board. We have big boys really carrying the load: Nvidia, Apple, Google, and Microsoft all pushing higher. A little bit of red here and there, but that's what you see when we have basically a flat day on the markets. But that brings me into the next area I want to discuss, 2 charts that I am bullish and bearish. All right, so first chart up that I am bullish on is Grab Holdings. This is a pretty unique company over in Asia. They specialize in delivering products as well as taxi cab hailing services. So we do have almost like an Uber of Asia, but this company is utilizing millions of customers every single day. It's a very big service that's over there. But anyway, as you see here on the charts, you see we've been consolidating basically down in this lower range of the charts for a couple years. And what needs to take place for price to move up is consolidation. And so you see here we've had price move up on the weekly chart and then now start putting in bullish consolidation. But notice where price stopped. It stopped here at this major big red candle. And so consolidation is needed to break through and get higher on the charts. And the very next resistance on Grab Holdings is up at $7.90, implying almost about a 30 to 40% increase. But keep in mind, with this bullish and bearish charts that I do describe, I like to go over these charts, but these are all mainly near-term plays. They're not going to be plays that I put in my portfolio for a long term. So keep that in mind. All right, next up, a chart that I am bearish on is Netflix. And let me bring your attention to the bottom of the screen right here. You can see the RSI. We have negative divergence that's been going on the chart of Netflix. When we made a high here, we had very high RSI. The very next major high, we had lower RSI. So that gave us insights that we were about to see a big drop in Netflix, which did transpire. But now that we've gotten a bounce up with much of the market as well, I still do anticipate Netflix going down a little bit further. So wait for price to get up to around $1,000, and I think that's a great short-term shorting opportunity. All right, that brings me into the Triad. All right, first up on the Triad, we got the S&P 500. This is the chart and ETF of SPY. I highlighted this parallel to you all yesterday, and I did so because it is a very important parallel to watch for price action in the near-term future. Look at these wicks here at the top of these candles. That highlights the selling pressure. Investors are eager to get out of the market with every little bounce that has occurred so far. But if you look at this, this is short-term bullish consolidation. So there's still an opportunity for price action to move up to the 50% area of this parallel. Notice where that's going to correspond with this low pivot. So the likelihood of that happening is still pretty high. So keep that on the radar. This area is going to be right around 575 on the SPY. That brings me into Bitcoin. As I mentioned to you before with Bitcoin, Bitcoin is nearly giving up all of its gains. Now, all this bigger pattern in Bitcoin is a bearish consolidation pattern. So watch out for further downside with Bitcoin. However, there's always a possibility we reach back up into this lower end of the parallel, which is around $92,000. So Bitcoin bulls, watch $90,000 and you want price to maintain above there. Otherwise, Bitcoin is likely going lower. And as I mentioned yesterday too, the markets in general are likely going to go lower. So that makes sense. This chart is telling me Bitcoin is probably going to go lower. Brings me into gold. Gold, we have basically a flat day, but price is still above this parallel. I expect gold to maybe even push a little bit higher before reversing case, coming back to the top end of the parallel, potentially even down to the middle area of that parallel. Silver, in essence, did have a small down day, but still flat. Notice this consolidation. This consolidation is all bullish consolidation, telling me there's a good chance for silver to go up to 34.86. Now, oil did have a good day, but again, this is still bearish consolidation, so still not much has changed on this chart. So you can see here we have resistance right up here at $68.93. Lower target for me is with good support is going to be about $63.33. Now on to two other charts that do have earnings today, some that you might be able to catch price action on. Let's check out these levels. First up, we've got Nike. Nike, you see here, we've had a major move up and then a reversal and sell-off. So we're right into a near-term support area for Nike, and this longer-term chart has been beaten up quite a bit. We have a resistance level way up here at 89.75. That's going to be if we have some fantastic earnings. Otherwise, if we are under pressure in the retail sector, you can anticipate price coming back down. First support level 68.92, followed by, I think, a major support trend line right here, $65.83. Next up, we have Micron. Again, they have earnings today. I do want to point out the power of TA. If I scroll back on this chart, look at this candle right here. That's a topping tail that occurred on June of 2024. And since that time frame, price has just retreated down, forming this bear flag consolidation. I flip over to the weekly to show you a little bit more precision, and it cleans up the charts too, so then that way you can analyze that a little bit better for yourself. But ultimately with a bear flag, what does that do? It gives us two things. It tells us that the chart is bearish, but then it also gives us a measured move. So should this all play out with Micron and further pressure on Micron, we can expect a move down all the way down to $40.87 in the near future if this bear flag plays out. But as we see, it looks like earnings are out for right now. We have resistance at the top end at 113.45. All would still maintain a bearish consolidation. So we have price moving up about $5. All right. And so that leads me into another message I want to bring to you all regarding advanced trader insights. Yesterday, I'd mentioned about larger cycles, and advanced traders insights you can find on our website at verifiedinvesting.com. Now, yesterday, as I said, there was a larger cycle that I highlighted. One of the reports I do again on Monday is cycles, and I also find smaller cycles amongst these larger patterns that we're in. One of the reports I wrote last Monday highlighted the effects of the lunar cycle that takes effect every 28 days or so on the markets. For the last 4 or 5 full moons, it has worked out perfectly to a T. These are things that you can spot and everybody can see when the full moon is taking place. Then markets tend to shift sentiment around that time. Now that time frame only lasts for a few days, so they're shorter term cycles, but they're certainly important to pay attention to because they could present buying opportunities or they can present short-term shorting opportunities. All right, so that concludes everything for Trading the Close today. Thank you so much for watching. Really appreciate all the comments you guys post. Again, my name is Dosek with Verified Investing. Thanks again for watching Trading the Close. We'll see you next time.